Okay, for those that are currently awaiting for the start of the virtual town hall here, we'll begin in approximately 5 minutes. All right, well, good afternoon. All those that are on our Facebook family and friends that are joining us today. And this is our town hall, the Team Mildenhall Town Hall that is primarily focused on resiliency. And so what our effort today will be is to introduce you to our subject matter experts. I'll have a few comments, and we have a few inputs from a couple of our members here. And then we really want to open it up to all of you for any questions or concerns that you may have. We did receive a few questions previous to the start of this, and so I'll use some of the time to ask those particular questions, but also want to remind you that this is resiliency focused. However, if you have a question or a concern that you would like us to address, please put it into the comments section. We may have time to answer it here, but more than likely we'll follow up with you at another time to get you that answer that you deserve. And so we'll start with a few introductions here. I've got a Mr. Ron Draper representing the community support coordinator. I've got Chaplain Hunley, all things chapel. And then I've got Colin Richardson and Master Sergeant Castro from the AFRC, and Master Sergeant O'Neill, Pump and Iron from the Fitness and Sports. That's it, those guns. Major Copeland, you got the biggest muscle up here, right? Because we're going to talk about mental health. And then Gracie Erickson's here to answer any civilian personnel questions. And so again, really the focus for today is to really discuss resiliency and our effort. And what I want everybody to understand is that, even though through this pandemic, we probably more than ever have more capacity for service and support for those that are needing and willing and wanting to come and ask for help. And so I would like to urge everybody, this is the time. If you need it, don't hesitate to reach out. Don't hesitate to ask your questions during this time. Please don't suffer in silence. We're here to support you and your families. And so I'm going to turn it over to, I believe, who is first up? Major Copeland, would you please start? I'll give it to you.
All right, thank you, sir. So I'm Major Liz Copeland, and I'm your Director of Psychological Health. And I'm also one of the mental health providers over at the clinic. And I wanted to start by talking to you about some of the coping skills that can help you get through this period of social isolation. First off, you got this. You're going to be able to get through this just fine. But I have some tips that can be helpful. I recommend that you start by organizing your space, whatever space that is, whether it's your dorm or it's a home off base. So where are you going to get some exercise? What room is that going to be in? Where are you going to set up your home office? Where are you going to read books? Where are you going to get away from kids or spouses when you need to take a break? So looking at your space, deciding what you're going to be using during that time and making it accessible. Also, I recommend that you maintain a schedule. So if you get up at a certain time, I recommend you continue to get up at that certain time. If you're not leaving for that day, you should still do all of your daily hygiene, as well as change your clothes. Do not stay in the same clothes all day. It improves your mood to kind of have a schedule. Are you going to make time for exercise, for reaching out to friends and family, reading a book, doing some education online, learning a new craft or hobby? Schedule it out. Even if you're not leaving, deciding between 8 and 10 at night that you're going to watch Netflix, write it down, because it helps you have a sense of purpose in completing things. I also recommend that you maintain your sleep schedule at night. Just because you can stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning does not mean that you should. I recommend that you avoid overusing social media or watching too much news. Schedule your news time, maybe 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the evening, because you can become oversaturated and it can cause increased feelings of sadness, hopelessness, of what's happening when it's constantly streaming. I like to practice gratitude every day. Every morning I count 3 things that I am thankful for. That helps me start with a better frame of mind. Trying new activities and hobbies. I started a 30-minute yoga for 30 days, but there's a lot of activities that you can do that are new to you that'll give you some sense of learning a new skill or hobby. Connect with friends. There's a lot of resources out there like Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, Zoom, that you can connect with folks. And finally, as I mentioned earlier, find spaces in your home where you can have some quiet time. What to avoid? Stress eating. Stress eating can be a huge problem for folks with boredom. So scheduling out your meal times with maybe say 3 minutes apart, or 3 minutes. Oh my gosh, that was live. 3 hours apart, 3 to 4 hours apart, schedule your meals. And finally, use a diet app if that's gonna help you. Avoid panic buying or boredom buying. Avoid overindulging in alcohol, making sure that if you're going to drink, set a limit. That I'm only going to be drinking 1 to 2 drinks on Friday and Saturday after 7 o'clock at night, and that I'm not drinking any other time. Or choose to make this a alcohol-free period for yourself and maybe lose some pounds. And finally, avoid binge gaming and binge TV watching. Too much of a show, even if I love it, starts to get kind of boring after about 3 to 4 episodes. So setting limits on how much time you're going to be using those things. So those are some things that you can do to help maintain a healthy lifestyle, even while you are socially isolating. But if you find that your feelings of depression or anxiety become unmanageable, there is a lot of resources that are available. And I believe that after this town hall, we'll be uploading those. And I certainly can speak to those directly. But there are telephonic, in-person, online for both families, children, and adults, both active duty and dependents and employees. So we can talk about those. And as I said, my resource guide will be uploaded at the end. I think that's all I have.
Well, thank you, Major Copeland. That was fantastic. I did a mental checklist in my head of all those ideas that you put forward. And so I need to pick up a new hobby is what I think. It might be yoga. Okay, so I think we're going to turn the floor over to Chaplain Hunley for your comments.
Hey, yes, sir. First off, I just want to say how honored I am to be here with you guys this afternoon on behalf of our entire chapel team, as well as all the other awesome helping agencies that you can see there on your screen that we have here on base. We really have some amazing people here that sincerely care for all of you and all your families. We're all committed to doing whatever it takes right now to encourage you and take care of you during this time. And we're definitely in very challenging times, like Major Copeland and like we've seen on the news so much. Social distancing, quarantines, isolation, travel restrictions, lockdowns in the dorms, in the TLFs, at home. Some of you are teleworking, some of you are homeschooling, some of you are single parents, and some of you, your spouses are still stuck TDY at a deployed location, unable to get home and help out. And oh, by the way, let's throw in PCS season, some delayed orders. It's spring break this week. And oh, by the way, it's Easter weekend. It's actually Good Friday today. And here we are, unprecedented, right? And it can definitely be overwhelming. But what we're all experiencing is happening all over the world. Every nation, every government, every continent. And we really are all in this together. And togetherness is actually key right now. So maintaining hope and optimism comes through staying connected with one another through all of this. Our resiliency, our overall health, socially, spiritually, mentally, physically, it's even more vital right now since we're unable to be together. And we're maintaining physical distance for protection and to flatten the curve, and it's working. But those restrictions are definitely why this is so stressful and difficult. But please remember, social distancing doesn't mean social isolation. We have to stay connected, not isolated. Did you know that isolation is a major risk factor for anxiety and depression? And that it takes a toll on us mentally and spiritually, which in turn affects our physical health. And all of those human domains, they overlap with one another, right? So did you also know that loneliness is more dangerous than obesity and as damaging to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day? loneliness. Connecting with other people is fundamental. It's fundamental for human needs, right? It's essential. It's critical for our overall well-being. So what do we do in a time like this when we're forced to self-isolate, right? We have to find ways to remain connected socially, spiritually, and mentally while still practicing safe physical distancing. So luckily, technology gives us a lot of great creative options for that, like Major Copeland pointed out some. At the chapel, we're trying some stuff to stay connected to friends and family and loved ones during this time. One thing we're definitely doing is video chat. So embrace video chat to stay connected with your family and friends, stuff like Zoom, Skype, FaceTime, WhatsApp, Google Hangouts. Number two, get on social media. Many people are reluctant to do that right now, maybe older adults especially, but during this time of social distancing, it's a really good way to stay connected with family and friends. But it can also have adverse effects like Major Copeland pointed out. So make sure you aren't feeling more anxiety by reading other people's posts. Number three, check in regularly. Whether it's by phone, text, video, or social media, check in with people every day. Communicating with others regularly can do wonders for our overall health and well-being. Number four, have virtual get-togethers. Just because you can't physically get together doesn't mean you can't enjoy each other's company. Take advantage of video chat, as we mentioned before. You can have meals together, you can play games together, you can watch TV and movies together, all through video. It's really easy and it can be really fun, right? Number five, and lastly, take advantage of the online resources that are available right now. Many organizations are offering free online webinars, tutorials, wellness classes. One organization is providing free classes to help reduce stress, classes on spiritual well-being, mind and body wellness, to mental health programs. They're all out there for free right now. Did you know that you could actually visit national parks, zoos, and aquariums via webcam? So take advantage of all the free online resources that are available. And finally, just remember, it's just as important to protect ourselves mentally, spiritually, and socially as it is to protect ourselves physically. We can maintain that physical distance and reduce physical contact, but also keep those connections in place for our social, mental, and spiritual health. And that's going to be key to staying healthy and hopeful right now. So I want you to be encouraged. This is going to pass. It's not a permanent situation. Some of the resources that you already know we have at the chapel, we are still available 24/7, even though like with the lockdown, everybody's teleworking. You can reach us through the command post by phone, or you can send us a Facebook message on our site through Facebook Messenger. We can set up counseling through Zoom and Skype and by phone. All of our chapel groups are actually still meeting every week, virtual support groups, prayer groups, the youth and student ministries like the junior high and the high school guys, they're meeting multiple times a week, all on Zoom. Airmen's ministry is still meeting every week on Zoom. Our women's group, our men's group, all still meeting, staying socially and spiritually connected right now. Our worship service at 11 o'clock every Sunday, same time, same place. It'll be on Facebook, but it's at 11 o'clock right there at the chapel, and it's still happening. Our entire chapel team right now is looking for all kind of resiliency materials that we can post on Facebook. We're purchasing ebooks from Amazon right now, okay? Stuff on loneliness, grief, isolation, maybe even stuff on marriage, single parenting. If you have something specific that your family or that you need, please message us on Facebook and let us know, because we can get that resource. Colonel Pananon, he's got lots of money and he wants to take care of airmen and families, so we will get that to you any way we can. God bless you guys, and let us know what questions you have today.
Thanks, Chaplain. I'm actually going to come request some tithes from you, because I don't know that my pocketbooks are that deep. All right. So I want to take this chance and opportunity to introduce Mr. Ron Draper. He's new to the team, but he brings with him a lot of discussions on this particular topic. So Ron, over to you.
Hey, Colonel, appreciate that. Hopefully everybody's doing well out there today. I just wanted to piggyback quickly and lightly on both what the chaplain and Major Copeland highlighted. You know, this is something that we've never been through in our entire life. But I was having a conversation earlier this week with a few of the helping agencies on base. And I think once we come out of this, we're going to be in a better place, because I think from what I'm seeing, the connections on this installation are growing day in and day out. I think people are actually bonding closer, even though through social media. and being very respectful of physical distancing. We're becoming a closer team. And when I say team, I just don't mean airmen. I just don't mean NCOs. I don't mean just civilians. I don't mean spouses. I don't mean kids. I mean the community that makes up the 100th Air Refueling Wing. I can see personally is getting stronger on a daily basis. So like I said, just to echo on what both of them brought to the table, we're going to get through this. We're going to get through this. There's a lot of smiling going on the installation. And on the other end, we're going to be a better community because of it. If we could have actually put up there, you can only see about 9 or 10 of us, but if we could have actually put up on the screen today, all of the helping agencies on this installation, you would be looking at about 100 different people that were representing what we bring to the fight. And I say that to say this: there is no reason that no matter what you're going through during these times, that you can't reach out and make contact with somebody that can get you immediate help for anything. Just to highlight a few things that we have worked on over the last couple of weeks that you will either see out on social media platforms or have seen in the past. We're talking about how to stay positive. We're talking about stress when you're stuck at home, how to healthy cooking, how to avoid stressful eating. We're putting out information on beating social isolation. I can remember, it's been a few years, but I can remember being in the dorm. I cannot imagine being in the dorm right now and not being able to go next door to my right to talk to my partner, next door to my left to talk to my partner. That's got to be interesting. But we're thinking about you. We're thinking about you each and every day, and we're going to be building resources to help each and every one of us get through this. And the reason I bring that up, I want to throw out there, if you're thinking of something that you don't see your helping agencies tackling or bringing to the forefront, please reach out, and we'll put a number up, a few numbers up after we've talked here today for anybody to have immediate contact with us. But I would ask you to use your chain of command, your leadership. If you can't get direct contact with us, let us know what you need, and we will stop what we're doing, and we will make time to address your need. I'll end with this. Keep in mind, I'll say wingman concept, and I know we've heard that those two words several times. Keep in mind, the best way we're going to get through this is to remember our wingman concept and to also remember our bystander behaviors that we've been taught over the last couple of years, prepping for not this, but prepping for getting through any type of stress, anxiety, strain, whatever. Keep in mind that we're not in this by ourselves, and even if you're having the best day of your life, guess what? Somebody else out there may be a little down, and it's our responsibility to be able to reach out and take care of each and every one of us, because we want each and every one of us here when this is all over. Thanks, Colonel.
Thank you, Ron. Well put. That's a great segue, because what I wanted to share with those is all the support that we're getting from within the community. And so I'm going to have the chief bring up a little slide here on the screen. And we just wanted to give, Melissa and I wanted to give a special shout out to the Milton Hall Spouse Association and our first sergeants. So they delivered and built over 400 bags for our dorm airmen. The men and women in our dorms got lots of goodies. And I see one of the things says this year's best festival, Coachella, and a few other treats. But in particular, Caitlin Hobbs, Aaron Mueller, Jill Shelton, and then the MSA president, Lindsay Snook. Thank you, ladies. Really do appreciate it. That gesture is going to go a long way. And thank you to the shirts that helped with the effort. Okay, speaking of which, let's get into some of the questions that we had already received. And so what I was hoping to do is maybe tackle Airmen and Family Readiness Center question. And so this can either go to Colin or San Castro. Are the military family life counselors still available?
I'll take that one, Colonel. Absolutely. The adult MFLACs are available. They've started to telehealth, so you can still receive the non-medical counseling via telephone or a video conferencing, whatever they're using. So if you're having any type of relationship issues, or if you're having some isolation issues in the dorm, please reach out to those MFLACs. We will post the numbers in the comment section when this is over. Also, we're kind of in a situation where we have some kids at home more than normal. If you're having any parents having any type of behavioral issues with the kids, I just wanted to put it out there that the school MFLACs are available also, and that information will be down there too. So please reach out to those phone numbers. If for whatever reason something they don't pick up or you can't connect, don't just leave it there. Please call us at the Airmen and Family Readiness Center, and I'll post our number also, and we will make sure that you are connected with the resource that you need.
Great. Thank you, Colin. And speaking of, I think we've been touching a lot about the spiritual and mental fitness. What about the actual fitness, that big, we'll talk about the gym, because we were talking about it a little bit earlier. It's kind of hard because we got the gyms closed, but you know what? Sergeant O'Neill, what do we have available to get after our physical fitness?
Well, quite a bit, Colonel, quite a bit. Greetings to you. Firstly, greetings to the whole panel, everybody watching this from Facebook. Matt Sergeant O'Neill, I'm the section chief for fitness and sports, that Colonel was saying, and we're doing a whole lot. Obviously, with the gym closed as a necessary precaution in the battle against COVID, it's kind of forcing people to get creative. Trying to find out means to stay fit, because I'm not going to go into a whole spiel about, how important fitness is. I think everybody understands that, not only to us being a fighting force, but as individuals, it's tied into so much, not just your physical wellness, it ties into your mental wellness. And for some, it's actually a spiritual thing as well. So we take it very seriously over here in FSS and in fitness. So we did come up with a plethora of things over the next few months. And actually, as long as this thing takes, we're going to be in the fight just to help folks at home while they're in there with their families, come up with ways to stay healthy and stay fit. The first thing I did want to mention before I get into anything else, there is a WellBeats non-promotional offer going on right now for folks that may not be aware. If you don't know what WellBeats is one of the companies that we purchase a lot of our digital equipment from in the fitness center. And what they're doing is they have released a promotional code. This is a non-promotional offer. And it's granting 30-day access to their app for the next 30 days. You log into that app, talk about creativity. There's over 500 exercises that you can tap into from that app alone. But we're not just leaning on that. We've gotten into the weeds ourselves and come up with a few things. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on that real fast. Kicking this off in April, obviously we know that's the month of the military child. So for a lot of things that I'm about to say here, we're gonna involve the color purple just to kind of show a bit of support, for that. For all the military dependents out there and whatnot. And also we've kind of morphed a lot of our programs to be family friendly, starting with I'm gonna start with virtual Zumba. As you know, with the fitness center closed, I know classes was a big deal for a lot of people. And unfortunately, for obvious reasons, we're not able to offer all of our classes, but we did reach back and we did bring back two of the heavy hitters. That's gonna be Zumba and that's gonna be boot camp. They're going completely virtual. And that is going to be available every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The Zumba class is going to be available at 11 a.m., followed immediately by boot camp at 12 at noon. So the way you guys can access those is going to be through the Twitch app, twitch.com. And also, you're going to follow that up with twitch.tv, Nunez Ronda 1. For everything that I'm saying as well, if I'm going too fast, you guys can definitely log into the RAF Mildenhall fitness page. There's flyers up there for all this stuff so you guys are tracking and making sure that, we're entering the right information. So like I said, Zumba's on, boot camp's on, that stuff is going to flow through April. And also moving on to April 13th through the 17th, Mr. Draper was speaking earlier, but kind of in collaboration with the community support and outreach stuff that you're doing over there. We're going to be tying in a couple competitions and things to keep things fun, starting with the plank competition. This is open to anybody. The way this is going to work, like I said, I see you, Colonel. Got to keep that core strong. It's important. The plank competition is going to be starting April 13th through the 17th. So the way that's going to work, obviously, whoever can hold their plank the longest is going to be the winner. So that's open to everybody, military, civilians. Hey, I see you. That might be a challenge. I'll see. I might jump in there myself. I don't know. Too much dominoes. But so for that, like I said, just record yourself doing the video. There's going to be prizes for all this stuff. For that particular one, it's a $20 AFES gift card. And just to get things going, offer a little bit of incentive there to stay fit as well. There's also going to be some things being loaded in terms of family fitness, 10 fun ways to exercise as a family. We're going to be promoting that through our website as well. Again, RAF Mildenhall Fitness on Facebook. You can go ahead and search that, and that's going to be up there. Moving into the week of April 20th, We're bringing back Zumba, but this one is going to be a family-oriented Zumba class. That's taking place on April 24th at 4 p.m. And that's also going to be through the Twitch app, twitch.tv /Nunez Ronda 1. So you guys can go in there as a family this time and, just go in there, with bring the kids, bring the baby, whatever you got to do, go in there and, enjoy yourself doing some quick Zumba. Yes. So with that, the next week after that, April 27th through to May 1st, we really got into the weeds here, and we're thinking about the whole family to include the pets. We didn't forget about the pets. We know there's a lot of fur moms out there and with fur babies, whatever you want to call them. So we involve that. So from April 27th through May 1st, it's going to be the week of the fit pet. So what we're encouraging people to do here is upload a video of either yourself and your pet getting creative with a workout regimen, or your pet themselves doing some doggy push-ups or whatever they do, dress them up in their fitness uniform, things of that nature. Whoever uploads the most creative video, there's going to be a $30 gift card for the owner, and we're also including a sack full of treats for your pet as well, so that they're not feeling left out there. All right, so that's going to take us into May, and I'm going to wrap this up real quick. As we all know, May takes us out of the month of the military child and into mental health awareness. So we're going to kick off May with a Mind Your Miles challenge. Obviously, we're going to tie the Bloody 100th into it, and the challenge is 100 miles in 31 days. So we're just sending that challenge out there for everybody who's trying to stay fit. And you can do this through running, biking, walking, anything to involve your feet, no driving, of course. And that's going to be tracked through a system that we're going to be releasing a little later on, to where people go and sign up and kind of put their miles in there. So moving on, May is going to be full of stuff, and I'm going to wrap it up here real quick. We have the push-up competition. We have the sit-up competition. All of these things have prizes, and they're all family-oriented as well. So no matter how many members of the family you have, we're going to be doing an average count. So, you go get mom, you go get dad, little brother, sister, grandmother. Like I said, bring the baby out the crib so he or she can bang one out too. That's all going to go to your overall count. There's going to be gift cards awarded to the winner of those competitions there. And then we're going to close it out May 17th through the 22nd and the 25th through the 29th. We're doing a 7-day superhero workout challenge. So we're just going to release a bunch of exercises that are kind of oriented to the particular character traits of certain superheroes. We're going to load a different one each day. I'm not going to start saying names of superheroes on here because that stuff can get tricky. But for this, feel free to load a picture of either yourself or your family. We're doing a best costume competition for this one. So after you guys, bang out the superhero challenge, take a picture as a family, and those best costumes are going to take home a $20 gift card from AAFES. And again, May 25th to the 29th is the last thing. Fitness bingo. I'm not sure how many bingo fans we got out there, but we translated that over to fitness. We're doing blackout bingo. So we're going to be releasing the challenges. Well, not the challenges, but, just the bingo piece for that particular day, whether it be, 60 burpees, 3-mile run. We're going to be releasing it. So you're really going to have to follow us on Facebook to track this one. And the first one to complete all of those stuff on their bingo card is going to win that particular prize for that week. So like I said, that's it for April and May. Obviously, if this thing needs to go into June, we're going to go right into June with it. As long as we need to, whatever we need to do, as long as we need to do it to keep this fight going and keeping you guys healthy and strong out there, FSS and your fitness team is going to be here for you. So I'm going to wrap it up with that, and let me know if you guys have any questions.
Thank you, Sergeant O'Neill. And just so you know, I'm kind of partial to Deadpool. And so just to reiterate, all of those services, the hours that they're available and the dates that you talked about, they're all located on which website again?
So all of this stuff, there's flyers for a majority of everything that I just said. So if you guys can log into, if you have time later, to go into RAF Mildenhall Fitness on Facebook, that's going to be our page. Give us a like, give us a follow. There's going to be constant updates in there. Everything that I talked about in detail is going to be loaded onto the Facebook page so that everybody out there can track via wherever they're at using their mobile apps.
That's fantastic. Okay, so the next question that we had is going to be for Gracie. Gracie, I see you're up. And so it says here, let's see here. How much are the services offered through Magellan Ascend?
Hi, everyone. Magellan Ascend is the Air Force, the service that the Air Force has partnered with APF and NAF. The website is available to any civilian personnel, regardless of your category. So the services on the website are free of cost. They have coaching services. You can have unlimited sessions. Coaching includes supervisory coaching, non-supervisory coaching. You can access this as many times as you need, and also have telephone conferences with counselors. Some services, such as legal consultation, such as they have, if you want to set up a will, if you need help with elderly parents or dependents, those services are free at cost initially, but depending on the service, there may be cost after a certain amount of sessions. So initially always free, depending on how you want to follow on, there may be a cost at a reduced rate for civilians. Thank you.
Thanks, Gracie. Appreciate it. And then next up, I think, Sergeant Castro, I know you have oversight over a lot of programs over at the Airman Family Readiness Center. During this time, what are the kind of programs that are available to individuals across the base and their families?
So essentially, we're trying to, to adapt to COVID, and we are trying to keep it business as usual. So if you find yourself in need of anything, give us a call and we'll tailor it to the individual. If you have a family that's trying to figure out exactly how to adjust to one another, you haven't figured out your love language, you haven't figured out exactly each other's strengths, this is the perfect time to do it. Give us a call. We'll do one specific for your family. We'll help you find out, who you are and why you are the way that you are, and be able to adapt and learn and love and grow together. And that's exactly what we want to do as individuals. So please give us a call. We're trying to change. We're adapting. We're all adapting, and we want to do it together. So on behalf of FSS, Colonel Gegg has asked that I share that we remind everybody that we have passionate and intelligent people, and they're creatively trying to come up with ways to help you. So please share your thoughts, share your feelings, like our Facebook page, because we have something for everybody there. Follow us there. We'll have links to every program that we have, and we'll be able to keep everybody informed and growing together.
Awesome, Sergeant Castro. Speaking of informed, a question came in through our stream here, and I'm going to kind of compile them together, and it's going to be for Chaplain Hunley. Chaplain Hunley, it says here, will there be Easter services available online from the chapel? If so, what are the times for Catholic Mass? And then also, if you could just kind of give an idea of the other services that are available for this Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely having Easter services still. High Holy Day, right? Catholic Mass is still on Facebook over at the Lake and Heath side. They have a different Facebook site. We can make that available in the notes here in just a minute. Over on this side at Milden Hall is at 11 o'clock is our contemporary worship service, and it'll be right there on our RAFM Chapel Facebook page.
Awesome, thanks. Thank you so much. Let's see here. It says, and this is going to be to Sergeant O'Neill, I think. It says, can I rent or borrow a BOSU ball or other gym equipment during this time?
What's a BOSU ball?
Yeah, I know. I had to figure out what a BOSU ball was, but maybe you know, but apparently there are a few. Oh, you're not unmuted.
Okay, so I'm not, can you hear me now, sir? Well, you could hear me before. I think that was what you was saying. So, bearer of bad news, unfortunately not right now. There is no type of 1297 program or anything like that that we have in play at the moment. Obviously that would be something above my head, but I mean, the short answer, unfortunately, is no. However, like I said, if the member wants to contact me for any type of in-house, perhaps using objects in his house safely to apply some type of, weight to his training regimen, we're more than happy to give him safe options. But at the moment, there's not much that I can be able to loan out from the gyms, if anything, actually.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. Oh, Sergeant Castro, did you have something to add?
No, I just said that was an amazing question. I've been thinking that for the last couple of weeks. I really need a BOSU ball.
Fantastic. Okay. Let's see. Let's see here. I've got another question here for Major Copeland. We're thinking about resilience, and it might be kind of, you probably did mention it during your comments, but one of the things that are really important right now, it seems like, has been either some way to connect virtually for maybe a session or two. And I think maybe some of the concern is should there, or is there any concern, and how do you connect in that medium virtually?
Okay, thank you. I think that's a great question as far as virtual mental health appointments. Virtual mental health appointments have shown really good efficacy and can be as effective as in-person counseling. There's a lot of resources available, and it's just where you want to receive those services. For virtual therapy, you can go to Military OneSource to their coronavirus tab, and they provide virtual counseling for both children and adults. Our MFLACs are using both telephonic and virtual appointments, and I know that Colin's going to make sure that those resources get out. Also, the mental health clinic is doing virtual care, both telephonic and virtually speaking. Our family advocacy team is doing couples counseling using Zoom as well as Skype. For in-person care, that's more crisis oriented, but if you are in crisis, if you're having a mental health emergency or having thoughts about hurting yourself or somebody else, you always want to go in person. And so that's either the emergency room or walking up to our clinic that is in the MTF on the 3rd floor of the administrative section. So I think that's kind of covers it, but we have telephonic, we have virtual, and we have in-person. And as I said, there's so many resources. I'll make sure that those are added in the comment section.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm glad that those services are available. Okay, let's see here. And so one of the things that has come up recently during the week is, the implementation of face coverings. And so it's a little bit off the topic from here, but for those that are watching and those that are kind of maybe traversing between Lakenheath and Mildenhall, I will tell you that it'd be very important for you to have something fashioned and available in some locations amongst either Lakenheath or Mildenhall. I know that for the commissary, they are urging folks to make sure that they have face coverings. We try that it is probably pretty realistic that you could maintain that physical distancing, but in the times where you're not able, that's where they would like to encourage you to have it. And so what I've heard is that at both Lakenheath and Mildenhall, they haven't stopped people from going in to shop, but they're pretty firm on now's the time to start arming yourself with the facial covering. And so there are plenty of YouTube videos available out there that can show you how to make one and fashion one at your home. I'd encourage you to go check those out. They're really easy. A lot of them don't even require sewing. I know my wife made one today, and so they're really pretty easy. It doesn't take a lot of craftsmanship. Thank God she did it, because I know it was done right. So, all right. Let me see here. Okay. Not going to be able to. So and we had some housing questions here. We're going to have to defer on some of those because we really don't have the subject matter expert here. So I don't want to get too far ahead. Which was it? Okay. Okay. And then, all right. So over to some of the other questions that we had received. And this is related to, I'm a GS employee and would like to just chat with someone over the phone when I'm feeling stress. What resources are easy for me to access? Maybe Gracie?
Yes, sir. Locally, we have identified resources that are available in the community. We have a listing posted on our website. These are resources that are available to anybody that is a resident of the commuting area. Additionally, of course, civilians can see the chaplain. Civilians can reach out to but bottom line is civilians need to utilize this service that the Air Force has been so gracious to pay for, which is Magellan Ascend. They have coaching services, they have counseling services, and all initial consultations are free. So I highly encourage all of our civilians to utilize those services.
Sir, can I just jump in real quick? Another resource that is available is disaster mental health. So disaster mental health provides support to anyone who is struggling with the effects related to COVID-19. So we have provided counseling to GS and British national employees for up to 4 sessions to focus on how that they're managing. And that's primarily done telephonically, and you call the main number at the mental health clinic at 226-8603, or speak with your first sergeant or supervisor. They can help you, but it's mainly focused on managing the effects of COVID-19, either social distancing or if you've been diagnosed or are under quarantine for another reason. But those resources are absolutely available and they're here locally.
And Colonel, if I could just chime in real fast, I know this may come across repetitive, but just to piggyback on what Gracie was talking about, that Magellan Ascend program is an outstanding program. It's been around in our Air Force for about 3 years. Honestly, being a civilian, it's underutilized. I've done a lot of research and looked into it. The programs that they have out there for civilians are unbelievable, and I'll tell you, they match almost exactly what programs are out there for military active duty. And when you're thinking about the Magellan Ascend, it's not only for that civilian employee, whether it's a NAF employee or a GS employee, it's also for their family members. So if you have a 16-year-old son or a daughter who needs some type of counseling or some assistance that way and just wants to talk to somebody, that program is there for them also. And also for spouses. If you are a GS employee and you have a spouse or a domestic partner that needs to talk to somebody, again, that is one of the best programs we got out there.
Thank you, Ron. And so this may be me, but certainly anybody could chime in here. Says here, I recently lost my mother. She passed away back in the States last month, and I'm not allowed to leave the country due to travel restrictions. What am I supposed to do since I can't go to the funeral? I think I can provide a little bit of context. In these extreme circumstances, we do have exceptions to policy. And so with the proper Red Cross notification, we work an exception to policy up through 3rd Air Force, through Major General Wood, and then we can arrange for the opportunity for an individual to travel during this time. Now, some of the potential issues that may come up as we're working this process is during this time, because of all the COVID travel restrictions, it might not be that we can't get you to your location. The issue might be is that when you get there, you might be subject to a self-quarantine, and you might not be able to get to the time and place that you want to be at the time and place that we try to get you there. And so just if there's issues similar to this, and they may come over the next couple months, please work through your leadership chain, and please don't be afraid to ask. We're here to assist you in each way, and these tragedies can and may happen. And so your leadership team, everybody that you see on this panel, is available to assist. Another question that came in that I just wanted to kind of give a quick answer to was, would it be possible to get food trucks for dorm residents over the weekends? And our FSS team is looking into it. So for somebody that asked that question, they're looking into it right now. All right. And then let's see here.
Before you get too far ahead, sir, for the question before that, to the individual that had lost their parent, I too had lost my father just a couple months ago in February. So if it's just something that you want to talk about, please give me a call or reach out to me, email, so that you know, if it's just something you want to go over from an emotional standpoint, I think I can say that I have a general understanding of what you may be feeling. So, you know, I'm definitely here for that.
And Sergeant O'Neill, sorry to hear about that. And I pretty rest assured that we're all here and we'll support you if you ever need a call. Okay, so let's skip on over to, I saw here, what classes and workshops is the Airmen and Family Readiness Center still offering? Can we get a little bit more specificity into that?
Go ahead, Colin. Okay, I'll start. All right, so there are some that are going completely virtual, right? And there are some that we're still trying to figure out. So there are some deployments that are still happening, and we're going to take care of those as we can take care of those. And we're going to try to keep it under the 10 people, and we're going to make sure that presenters can show up. And there are ones that are mandated, and there are some that we're going to do just to help everybody improve, right? So really, there is no yes or no right now. If you're interested, please give us a call and we'll do everything that we can to make it happen. So we don't have this isn't happening, this isn't happening. It just depends on size. It depends on people. It depends on availability. Colin, anything you want to add?
Yes, thank you. We also, just a couple other programs I don't want you to forget about. Air Force Aid is still happening. If you're having any type of emergency situation, you can work that through your first sergeant or give us a call at the AFRC. We can definitely kind of listen to your case and see if it falls within the emergency assistance parameters. That's one thing. The other thing, we are still fielding quite a few transition questions. People are still getting out of the military, still getting kicked out, still separating, still retiring, still choosing to get out. There is a congressionally mandated steps that need to be followed. We are still doing those steps. Most of them are being done virtually, telephonically, and some are online. So that is still happening also. We're still kind of running into a few newcomers that got to our base and were instantly put on quarantine. So some of those folks are kind of coming out of quarantine, kind of looking for some direction. Those folks, please give us a call at the AFRC, and we definitely want to get you connected with some of those big agencies that you need to connect with, like housing and driver's license, meeting with wing leadership, etc. And we're still getting some exception to policy deployers. I think Sergeant Castro mentioned that. Some deployers are still heading out. We're still getting people coming back in. So Sergeant Castro is kind of handling those on a case-by-case, one-on-one, whenever they come in. But we still have a lot of stuff going. I just wanted to do a quick plug for this Sunday. We have an Easter scavenger hunt going. It's on our Facebook page. If any families out there would like to participate in that, that's at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning. Check our Facebook page. You'll see the flyer. Sergeant Castro is going to post that scavenger list at 10. We have 30 items on it. Pretty difficult. Should be pretty fun for families to do together. And we're going to put a couple of cash prizes together too with help from FSS and our Mildenhall Spouse Association. So we're trying to keep things as normal as possible. Like Sergeant Castro said, we're just trying to do it virtually and tailoring it to, an as needed basis. So we are open Monday through Friday. We have somebody going to answer the phone from 8 to 5 all week long, and anything we can do to help you out, we are definitely here for that.
Thank you, Colin. Sergeant Castro, appreciate it. All right, so this is kind of maybe open to the panel, but might be in the chaplain's lane. Teleworking from home is difficult, and my spouse and kids seem to be fighting a lot more. Is there a way to meet for couples or family counseling?
Absolutely. So not only would the chaplains be able to probably provide that, but I'm sure Major Copeland's team as well would be able to assist. The best way that we would be able to meet with families, probably due to the restrictions, it would probably either be through Zoom, Skype, or telephonic. Today we had a walk-in, and if it's just the two of us, it can probably get done, right? Because we're still honoring the guidance. But if we get more than that, then it would have to be another venue.
And just to kind of piggyback on resources for families, the Family Advocacy webpage, which is, I believe it is Family Advocacy, and then it says RAF Lakenheath Mildenhall. They're offering classes online to include Love and Logic. So if your kids are fighting, Love and Logic is an amazing class. It's an 8-hour class that would cost you close to $300, and it's being taught by really the expert on it, the man who sort of created the Love and Logic program. So it's being offered for free, so you can sign on for that. Family Advocacy is providing some couples counseling virtually, but I do know that they're very, very busy. So probably your best place to start might be with the chaplains, just kind of knowing where their ability is right now. But those are the resources we have.
Sir, I'd like to add that Magellan Ascend also has some resources for teleworkers with children in the home. They have webinars and tip sheets that you can print out or use with activities to help you manage your kids while they're at home and you're trying to telework.
All right, thank you so much. Another big portion of our population is deals with our dorms. And so I'm going to ask Chief Glasscock if she has any thoughts or comments regarding that.
I do not live in the dorms, but I can tell you, we visit the dorms, and we've been doing a lot of work with the first sergeants and just stood up a dorm working group so that they can be meeting with the dorm members. They're over there visiting them, seeing what they can do to improve everything during this time, and make sure that we're reaching out to their needs that they have. So they've got a lot of great ideas started. I'll tell you, we had a virtual meeting with our dorm council, and they were very impressive. The commander and I were super impressed with their innovative minds and the ownership that they were taking of their dorms. That's your home. So you dorm members out there, we were happy to see how you wanted to take charge of it and to make it the best you can during these times, because it is very unique. And so shout out to the first sergeants and the new dorm working group that we're going to have. And so we want to make sure you're reaching out and that you are being heard, and so that we can address those issues.
Thank you, Chief. Another thing that I wanted to put out there as well is we've been having a series of commanders calls with our airmen across the base, and we threw out the challenge flag, which was we're going to host a wing-wide virtual competition. The first one might be trivia, but then we also raised an offer to them, hey, you come up with the next level of competition. And then what we're going to do is create a bracket. We'll have teams, we'll crown a winner, and then they'll all try to beat me. So too bad, it's not going to happen. It's not going to work, but that's out there as well. We're really trying to get after that. A couple other things, admin notes here, and I would recommend a few things. So some of the services, some of the information that we've been sharing with you today can all be found on the mildenhall.af.mil site. There's a button that says COVID-19, and that'll take you to some of the services that are either open, closed, or may have limited hours. So I recommend looking there, as well as all the other locations that have been recommended by the subject matter experts. One other thing that I also wanted to make sure that everybody was aware of is the 48th Medical Group is hosting their town hall at 1600 today, 4 p.m. to, I believe, 5 p.m. So then you can ask questions related, medical related questions during that time. We are coming close to the end of our session here. And what I will tell you is that really encouraged by the level of effort that everybody's putting and buying into as far as the restrictions go. I know it can be a little bit of a burden, but at the same time, there is a lot of compassion because we're all in this together. And so I really would applaud you on this and taking advantage of the opportunities that this presents, where you can connect with your family on a more deeper level. And so really do appreciate the team that's here that has been able to offer some great advice, great tips, and really raise awareness for all the resources that we have available to all of this community. I will turn it over real quickly for some few second closing comments. Anybody have any closing comments before we adjourn?
I will add for the dorm members, we also have a separate list for this scavenger hunt on Sunday. So we're not expecting them to have the same items in their house as a family. So we are gonna make 2 separate lists. So please participate.
Thank you. Chaplain Hunley,
I'm sorry. On the question of the dorms, 3 of my airmen that live in the dorms that are mental health technicians will be featured next week on a Facebook video that will be coming out on Monday. And so if you see it, feel free to share it. I think they did a great job.
You did tell me about that, Liz. That's gonna be fantastic. Chaplain Hunley, any last closing comments as we enter into the Easter Sunday, Easter weekend?
Absolutely. I wish everybody a very wonderful, happy Easter weekend. Unprecedented times, but hey, in my faith tradition, no surprises with God. He knew already this was going to be this way a long time ago. So hang in there, stay strong, and be encouraged.
Fantastic. Ron, real quick.
Yes, sir. Just a quick closing comment. Well, first of all, stay healthy, stay safe. Make sure you're staying connected. If there was something that you wanted to ask or wasn't addressed the way you felt comfortable with during our limited 60-minute period here, I'm going to give you a quick telephone number. Now, obviously, the majority of us on the Zoom call right now are teleworking, but jot down this number. It's 01638 542009. That number goes directly to our SAPR office over in the DC3. And our SARC, Ms. Susan Bradford, is at that phone every day from 0730 to 4:30 every day. She's in the office all the time. So if you can hit her for anything, she can reach out to one of us I guarantee within 5 minutes we can get back with you. That's 01638 542009.
Thank you, Ron. And to my wingman, Chief, any closing comments?
I would say that resiliency is definitely being tested right now. And it's an absolute honor, though, to be part of Team Mildenhall because we're crushing it and you guys are great people. So thank you.
Can't agree more. All right. So this draws to conclusion. I didn't get to go to all the Hollywood squares for closing comments, but please, if there are any questions that come in after this video concludes, after this session concludes, put them in the comments section. We'll get back to you right away. And that's all from Team Mildenhall. Thank you so much for attending, and we'll let you know when the next town hall is scheduled. We'll get that out as soon as we can. All right. Thank you. Take care. Be safe.